The Hyperbike is a human-powered vehicle that fills the gap between sports and transportation. The Hyperbike fills the promises made by the bicycle. The Hyperbike was developed over the last 5 years through people's feedback, and what you see here is a working prototype, the result of the first stage of a 3-stage product development process. What you see is not a final product. The Hyperbike has also been seen by NASA, by individuals from Giant Bikes and Boeing Aeronautics. And while they all endorse it, NASA's incubator SATOP has committed to invest intellectually until the Hyperbike is brought to market. Internet feedback has been great. One overriding issue has been, how will it get to car speeds and beyond? The issue is less about will it go those speeds and more about controlling it at those speeds. I had frustration, and I drew on my frustration from a bicycle, and I wanted to get rid of the seat, and I wanted to get rid of the handlebar pain that's causing the palms of your hands. By doing both of those things, I necessitated that the wheels be as large as they are. The size of these wheels also means some speed is associated with their rotation.
It was an unusual experience because you're covering a lot of distance really quickly.
I'm 6'3", 260 pounds. I got right in there, and that thing could go. I bet you I could have done 40 or 50 miles an hour if I got out there in the open.
The base will be as wide as a car, but this thing is going to be out there going as fast as a car. The amount of control that people actually had with this big, heavy, 200-pound device is part of the surprise that people experienced when they got in it.
What I didn't expect is that you could literally turn the bike on it, while you're in zero turning radius.
It felt like you were doing a lot of work, but at the same time, it was also exhilarating. It's just a lot of fun.
From my perspective, the Hyperbike was something that seemed like it could be a lot of fun to ride, whereas a bicycle to me is, especially because you're leaning over it, you're not using your upper body, and that sometimes you get numb in your fingers, and that's one of the things I don't like about normal bicycling.
And you know what? I don't want to knock the bikes off the road. Let the bikes be, it's fine. I want to supplement. You got a little bit extra more energy going on in there, you feel like using your torso and your arms, you're going to want to use the Hyperbike. My father, he's the man that said, do it. I don't want to hear you, talk about it. He said, make it happen. And I got these people around me that made it happen for me. Right now, it's made out of metal, the same kind of stuff that you would use on a bicycle frame. We could cut it when we made a mistake, and we could, re-weld it, and all this during the time that we were trying to get it together. We rolled 2-inch OD aluminum, and I had to keep them. And I had this one place, and I had to rent out a bay. And I think the father thought I was nuts, and he's partly right. I expect that the future versions of this will be done in some kind of carbon fiber, some kind of an alloy, chromalloy. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm reinventing the bike, but I'm not reinventing the wheel. I think the most practical application of the Hyperbike is to have it as a supplement to other vehicles on the road. The one that you use on the road will become collapsible after you take out the core and bring it into your house and use it as an exercise machine.
So if you took the bike and you had a stationary model, it would be a great cross-training technique for a triathlete, somebody who doesn't want to be out on the road and in wear and tear, doesn't want to break down before a big race. They could use that to train.
You really use the whole body and not just the lower body. Almost all aerobic activity or aerobic exercise, running, cycling, elliptical machines, stuff like that, is all lower body.
I'm sure it could be modified to be a self-contained exercise apparatus for in-home or gym use, total body, all at once.
There's no impact. It's unlike a regular bicycle where you're sitting on your tailbone the whole time. You have no pressure on the low back, on the lumbar spine. So that would be very beneficial for an individual who has problems with their back.
I envision the Hyperbike coming in 4 sizes for 4 distinct groups of people. Adolescent, adult, large adult, and extra large adult.
Yeah, I could imagine people riding their hyperbikes to school and work in places.
You're in a harness coming from a back bar. You have the freedom to move with the turns. You know, this thing corners beautifully. Walking on the moon is what it feels like. I've never walked on the moon. But you know, your center of gravity is moving along and you're not sitting on a seat and you're not bouncing.
It's not the thing you can kind of step right in and just take off like a regular bike. It really takes a bit of practice, but once you get riding on this thing, it's it's a trip. It's a lot of fun. It's like nothing else you've ever done, really. I mean, you can't compare it to anything.
The NASA connection came about because I kept harping on them. You have to look at this website. You have to. I'm sure there's applications. They hooked me up with SATOP, Space Alliance Technology Outreach Program. If it could be made collapsible, assemble it, and go further than the lunar rover ever went.
I think I'm involved because I want it to happen. I want to see something come out of this because it's he put such an effort into creating it so far, and you know, taking it from an idea to something physical.
Everybody asks, how come the wheels are so big? It's an assumptive question right off the bat. They're too big for what? What they are supposed to do is to be with axes above your center of gravity. That's the key of all of this.
Trying to steer and get it kind of getting the motions going. Once you got it, it was cool. Like you felt like you were moving, like these giant wheels are just pushing you. And
we're all looking for some semblance of the feeling of flight, right? And this thing comes close.
The reason I believe that it'll work is because when people ride it, they love it. They're not just loving it for me, they're loving it because they love it. You harness on the Hyperbike and you travel. That's what this is about. You're an operator. You know, you're using handles, or you're using your body weight in the best way you can. This, I believe, is the perfect complement to the human body in motion.